Welcome to another episode of the Bees Brothers podcast. I'm John.
And I'm Phil.
And today we've got a very, very special guest. This is Bradd Parfit from Be Social. Do you want to say hello?
Yeah, hi, right.
I think this is episode 5 we're on now.
I don't know, because
Is it episode 5 we're on?
I've realised I've released the episodes in the wrong order today. So the episode that was meant to be out first was Terry Grogan, which is going to be out in like 5 days. But I released Flooders by accident.
Yeah.
So it's my.
But I think we are on episode 5 now.
I'm going to say yes. But yeah.
No.
So, Bradd is from Be Social. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so we are based in Wigan mainly now, and we've got a few sites, but all wet led. That's our model, and I've been doing it since about 5-6 years now. 26. I started about 19.
Wow. So just tell us about your quick journey for the last 5-6 years. Because obviously, when I met you, you were huge.
Yeah.
You had 10, 12 sites, and you were just growing and growing. So what's changed from being like this big now to what you have 4 or 5 sites?
Yeah. One other multi-operator I spoke to a while back, he kind of, a quote stuck in my head, and it was, "Don't be a busy fool."
Yeah.
And that's practically
Well, we say busy idiot.
Yeah, and you could do millions and millions and millions a year, but if it's not dropping on the bottom line, I don't think, you just become a glorified area manager running around like a headless chicken. So we just got rid of sites that are just breaking even or are taking too long. We're just trying to change the model like that. I'd rather have 4 sites that are making a fortune than So that's kind of why this year, especially with the way we're going forward.
Yeah, 100% agree.
I think we're all in that boat at the moment, especially with the budget and things like that. There's no point working if you're not making money. It's not.
No,
it's not.
a lot of operators are practically doing that. They're just busy fools at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, there's more to it than running around.
I think it shows with Stonegate at the moment. They're changing business model as well, and that sort of thing. What's happening?
No offence, but these deals, right? I may as well talk about. You've mentioned Stonegate.
Let's
just get on with this, right? So, if you go on Stonegate, I think it's Stonegate Pubs Partners at the minute, and you look at their deals. So, let's say, I don't know, Yates is in Sheffield. Rent's going to be what, 150 grand? Fully tied.
Yeah.
Plus, you've got all the bills to pay.
And the F&F to pay.
And the F&F to pay for on a weekly rental. You've got a repair fund to pay for. God knows what else they're going to bill you for. It's just like, at what stage does the operator make any money?
And the estimated turnover on the website is never
near.
remotely near.
It's going to be euros turnover.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, this is what it did last year. Yeah. I'm sure if you dig deep, they would give you that turnover, but
then you've got to take staff on.
I've dealt with Stonegate already, and in fairness, it's all about the BDM. The BDM, the people in the business, just like with pubs, the people are key. And probably like with you get offered them left, right, centre now. But some of them are you just scratch your head. But I think the biggest issue with pubcos is they're offering them at like peanuts to get them in. Yeah. And that's why they've got such a high kind of turnover rate.
I agree with you. In the normal world, like low entry point, we'll give you Sky and TNT free for 6 months, and we'll give you £5,000 in stock just to get people to sign a tenancy. But I think at the minute, Stonegate are just trying to get shit off their books and get all the bills in someone else's name, all the staff 100%. Out of their name, to then just turn around and go, it's your problem. But when it doesn't work, they're supposed to get a site back with no staff, no headaches, and obviously you're in a shitload of debt. But I just think they're just mental deals. Cause
I think anybody who's taking a site on like that at the level, unless you're negotiating extremely well, then you are at the moment saving.
You're being a busy idiot.
Yeah,
100%.
I think you're saving Stonegate from
collapse.
Yeah, collapse at the moment. I don't think anybody, especially the scale of business that they are. Nobody makes this many changes this quickly without the fact that they are really, really struggling.
I mean, they've just brought out a turnover agreement thing.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
There's a turnover tax on your agreement as well.
Cracking.
Yeah. So you'll do 25 grand a week, but anything over, we want 3, 4, 5, 6%. It's just like
crazy.
There are obviously people taking them deals, and to be fair, I think you are crazy, but
And I think if you're thinking about it, just have a really good think about it before you do, because
you may as well not. You may as well just go to Admiral. You may as well go to proper pubs and just take one off a brewer who's not trying to screw you, because there's that many pubs come on the market that fast.
Yeah, 100%.
Something smells fishy.
I think at the same time as well, as we're discussing, of the figure of 25-30k looks great, but when we broke it down and we looked at the food sales in one particular of their pubs, it would turn over £60,000 in dry sales, but you get 2 chefs on and that money's gone straight away.
Yeah, and then when you equate the utilities...
What's 60 grand a year in food?
Yeah,
it's like, what, over £1,000 a week?
Yeah.
As Phil said, two chefs.
Which you're going to need to run a 7-day business.
Sorry, even if they're not a chef, even if it's just trained people.
Yeah, it's still £30,000 a year.
Let's say 25 grand each. There's 50 grand there.
But then you've got your employees' NI and all the other costs on top of that.
It just don't stack up. Like, to me, it's like, instead of trying to put this shit onto people, why not just sort the businesses out themselves? Because anyone looking in goes, that can't support a kitchen. No. Why not just close the kitchen? It just baffles me. Yeah. But Stone. I could talk about Stonegate for hours. Well, let's not. Let's move on to something a bit more current, which is obviously business rates. Have you been done over on any of your sites with the rates?
Wow, wait. So my brother has also got his own hospitality business, and I actually forgot about this. So I really
forgot about your brother.
No, well, but I forgot about the rates reform, and he rang me up and was like, Brad, and luckily, all my models have been get it underneath 12. When you buy a pub, try and get it under the 12k rates. Just it protects everything, because the thing is now, whoever's rates are doubled, they're paying double for Sky as well. I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah. Luckily, mine are under. I think mine went from 12,500 to 9,000 something.
Wow.
And I was scratching my head. I was like, how were they pulling these figures out?
I think it's just literally a tombola, and they're just picking numbers out of thin air.
But then I did some searches on some other guys, and some of them going from like 60 to 90k rates. 24 to 57k rates. I'm like, whoa, and then like the Sky bill's going to reflect on that. I'm just like, come next April, game
one of our smallest pubs is the biggest increase.
We've got the Turf Hotel in Burnley, next to the football ground. Yeah. It's been free rates for years and years and years, and all of a sudden they've 2.5 times the business rates. It's just like,
where's the justification?
I don't. He just can't support it. If that was a standalone business, it'd never support it. So obviously we're gonna have to spend years fighting it. It's just like, why?
This is why I've trimmed down the fat, because when you're a multi-op, you do spend half your time like propping up some of the ones you want to grow, and that's how all of those kind of guys kind of navigate. Where if you're single one, you're screwed. And that's why it works, but
it's frustrating the fact that the industry's already struggling without this, and especially I don't know where they get these figures from. I can't understand who's sat behind a computer putting these figures in.
It's a lucky dip.
Is someone in a good mood that day or a bad mood that day? Sometimes
they've not had a coffee. I'll tell you what, I'll put a 1 on the front of that one.
It's my reaction when I saw my sites and below the threshold. I was like running around, because it's so big for a business.
We'll give you some perspective on this as well, just from our side of it, with the rates. But our town centre sites have gone now less in some cases than a site what is nowhere near the town centre.
Community.
And it's half the size.
There's just no logic. I don't want to question them ones at all. Thank you, but obviously I want to question the small boozer, community boozer. Like, it's gonna pay rates now, and it's just like, if Sue and Sam were running that pub as their only business, they'd be screwed.
And a lot of communities are single.
They are single operators, and it's just like, where are they going to find this £5,000, £6,000, £7,000, £8,000 a year?
And then the Sky and BT's going to go poof.
Well, we had it roll back the clock years ago. One of our sites for 10 years, it's been free rates, and then all of a sudden, bang, we got hit just after COVID when the rates changed. From paying nothing, I think we were paying about 15 grand a year, so it shot up massively. So obviously, what happened? Sky wanted to shoot right up, but what was crazy about the Sky thing. It was cheaper for us to stay out of contract, pay full Sky price with no discounts on the historic rates, because if we sign a new contract, it would rocket by 4 times. So for years and years, this pub has not had Sky Q. So it suffered because it's not had the red button games, but at the same time, it wouldn't be able to afford Sky at its new price. But what's crazy is that pub is now free rates again. So we can now get Sky Q. So it's just like, they've punished us for 3-4 years.
I don't understand why the full circle needs to happen in terms of, we've gone through that, what is it, 4 years or 5 years by the time the rates are done. That why do we have to go from one extreme to another extreme to come back down again? It's who is actually rating these properties?
I don't know.
I don't know the formula for why certain things have gone up, because they just some like just don't make sense. Like where they put it.
Why is it if they actually are valuing the property? No, the property industry doesn't fluctuate that drastically. Yeah. So, and they do say that they don't take your turnover into account.
Well, why do they ask for it?
So why do they ask for it to start with?
Yeah.
And it's the only thing that could ever make a property valuation fluctuate so much is a turnover on a business, because property as a whole does not change that much or that drastically up or down.
But I mean, if they based it off fair maintainable trade, which is what they normally do, I mean, I've not submitted one of the sites for donkeys. I mean, they never really asked for that. I just don't know where they're pulling their data from. I mean, it's just nuts, but hey ho.
It is what it is. Let's just move forward.
Yeah.
So did anything else from the budget stuff? How do you operate? Are you payroll or you turnover tenancies with these sites?
We are fully like payroll,
Wow.
Yeah.
Right, so how's that? Obviously, we're all turnover tenancies. Obviously, the managers pay the staff.
I was sweating.
Yeah. So obviously, for us, we just do a slight price increase.
Yeah.
So then the managers can earn that more money to pay the staff. So what are you?
I mean, over the last 5+ years, we've been used to it incrementally. So what I do is I overpay the staff anyway.
Right.
So we now, as of Jan, we pay our minimum wages, and it's more because it helps us kind of like inflate ourselves, if you get me, with the times a bit. So we kind of already soaked the costs up 6 months before to give our business the time to adapt, really. Right. So we already had, we knew it was coming, we were planned, and I don't understand why. The thing is, it's fiscal drag basically in full form, because when you increase the minimum, they've not increased the thresholds.
No, they've not.
So everyone starts jumping in, and they gain more.
They're not going to gain anything. The government's going to gain more tax.
Yeah.
So obviously more people are going to be in the next threshold.
Yeah.
But so as a business, have you already planned for your prices to go up, or are you doing that next year? Doing that now before Christmas?
We already planned, and everything's going up in Jan, in the best month of our year. But we have already planned. But I try and not look at the macro kind of points. I try and focus what we can control as a business, really, because every year it's the same thing, really. Nothing, you can't really change anything that they do. So
no, I'm in agreement with that you can over focus on situations.
I used to blame. I'd be like, it's the government's fault when we're not doing well or whatever, and I just like try and look it from within.
A lot of people do that as well. And I can understand it because it is frustrating in some respects, but I think the energy is better spent focusing on what you can control than what you can't control. Because it's just wasted energy. Yeah, it really is wasted energy.
So how do you keep a control on labour? Because obviously you've got all these sites, you're paying the staff. Are you using software? What are you doing to keep control? Because obviously that's going to be your biggest expense.
Yeah. So obviously, as all businesses, we have KPIs, and luckily our management team over the years, obviously, I started from no experience at all, so it took me probably until now, I'd say, to have some sort of understanding of how the world works in hospitality. And the main thing is just keeping on top of clocking in and clocking out, and making sure they don't spend 16 hours cleaning and really
Are you using any software or anything?
Yeah, we actually have a really good, and people might think we're stupid, we have a really good rate with Square.
Square as in the EPOS system?
Yeah.
So
I don't pay a penny for the tills. They pay for everything, and then I have just a group rate.
So your time and attendance is all done through the till?
Everything's done through the till. Wow. Absolutely. The rotas are done through the till. They've gotten much better at onboarding. So our onboarding's now through the app.
Right.
So the staff will jump on the app. All the shifts are on there. The clock in and out there. Absolutely, all the pay slips are on there. The onboarding's there.
What, even signing the contracts?
Yeah, and they now even have the training modules on there.
That's pretty good.
So it keeps everything in one nice little kind of.
So how was Square making money out of you?
Through the card processing
Right.
fees. I think they're quite because they're like really big. I think they've got that economies of scale where they can do.
So what roughly are you paying on your card fees?
It's like 0.6%.
So it's not too bad.
But where people may pay 0.3, 0.5, that's a blended rate.
Yeah.
But we don't pay a penny for our tills.
Yeah.
Because I don't run restaurants, so I just have the basic plans on, and it's enough. So in
that for 0.6% on every, is there a transaction fee as well?
No, that's a blended. So I think there's an authorization rate of maybe like 2p or something like that.
So you get your tills, your rota system, stock systems.
Originally we were paying
HR.
Yeah, originally we were paying.
Yeah.
We were paying for the tills, the Square registers at like 700-800 quid, and then we managed to kind of every time we buy a site, say, come on, give us a till.
So you're not even paying anything for the till as well?
No.
It's a good deal, that.
We used to use EPOS now,
yeah.
But then I mean, you've just got to be quite bullish with them, I think. I mean, like, I'd be on the phone with them all the time, saying, come on, we're walking tomorrow, we're going, because we have no contracts, it's open-ended. This is amazing for us, because we can just go back somewhere else if needs be. But since day dot, I've really used them, and they've been great. The only issue is the tills aren't built for wet lead. So they get wrecked, but when they do get wrecked, they do fix them. So it's not too bad.
Because we used to pay thousands a month for stuff, because obviously we used to do everyone on payroll. And we used to pay thousands on different platforms and softwares and trying to merge them all together.
I used to as well, and at the start, I'm a bit I over-engineer everything. Right. So I'd be like, why am I paying £100 for this, another £100 for that? Before you know it, you spent £1,000 and £2,000 for it. Before you know it, that's an area manager you can probably afford. So I've tried to dial it down to quite basics. If we don't really need it, just don't bother.
Yeah.
And we'll try and internally do it. And that's kind of where we've gone. I mean, trying to dial the costs in at the moment is just
it's crazy.
major.
Yeah. Well, last year or the year before, we put brewery lines in everywhere.
Yeah.
And the cost monthly, we're talking few thousand, aren't we?
I
what
think
we
that's
had
to monitor and just to run the business now.
So obviously we got out all them contracts and just cut back, and we just stopped taking more. And do more line checks to. I think we focused a lot on technology and getting more and more technology, but then the costs of the technology kept on going up and up and up and up, and I'm just like, hang on a minute, let's just get back to basics and let's just put somebody in the pub to literally physically count the stock. It's easy to see if it's not going for the till.
Yeah, I mean, we've looked at so many softwares, but the issue is they kind of have you per site, don't they?
Yeah.
And where do you think when you're a group you'll get a really decent rate? It's just not that incentivizing.
So last year we were looking at a new loyalty system, and in my head, why does it matter that we're X amount of sites? Because I don't care that the data's separate. I just want one central database, and we'll just market the same offers to everyone. So what am I paying times by 15 because you want to put 15 licenses out? But why could I not just have one site, charge me for one site, and I'll just put it in all my sites? But they won't do it. So we just walked away because they wanted to charge you 15 times license fees just to get this loyalty system in, even though I could say, well, I'll tell you what, I've got one site with 25 tills. But no, they won't have it. But it's just, that's the trouble with tech, is obviously...
I mean, we've now implemented, to be fair, in a world that is so thingy, it's going to be unusual, right? And we've gone back to old school methods. In our community pubs, we're leaflet dropping now, and we use old school loyalty cards, and that works more because people don't do it as much. I mean, this come from, I learnt this off James Sinclair, right? And he now does things like leaflet drops because there's less people putting leaflets through the door, so it hits them better.
We plug all the charging stations. We started doing leaflet dropping, and the leads we get off just a leaflet through a pub door, or walking into a pub and go, can you give this to the manager, or you the owner, etc. You get more leads off sending emails, Facebook messages than literally anything. It's just the cold calling, walking in with a piece of paper. It works.
Yeah, it's
and I think
shots to the system.
Yeah,
I think
because people aren't used to that face-to-face contact anymore with marketing. It's more text messages, emails, WhatsApps, and just knocking on someone's door and walking in and going, "I'll speak to you for 2 minutes."
Because social media now is so accessible, and so easy, especially with AI and like you just. But really, you need to reverse engineer it as well, and still have the presence there. But what other ways can a business
You
start becoming blind to it, don't you? Advertisements, what you see, you just scroll past it and not even think about it anymore. So
nothing. But we've definitely kind of gone the other way now, and a lot of other people are.
We've just launched a paper loyalty card just for Christmas. Basically, if you spend so much on beer, you get discounts in January, and that's old school. Instead of being a digital card, it's an old stamp card. So we see how that reacts, because for years we had stamp cards, but obviously we moved it to digital.
But being fairly young, I forget how like our customer base is. I don't even use social media, and they're a bit more tactile and see things firsthand more. And
well, some of our customers during the day don't even have phones.
Yeah.
Or the phones they've got, they don't have iPhones or Samsungs, and they can't download these fancy apps. So to them, I think they appreciate the old ways as well. But obviously, you've just got to be careful that people aren't taking the mick and buying the stamps.
That's
it's like the good old days of Nando's loyalty cards. Everyone had the stamps.
McDonald's coffee ones where you could just like rinse through
free coffee for life. But you briefly mentioned AI. Are you using any AI in the business at all?
Ish. Obviously, we've got like the Canva AI stuff, and I've never even used ChatGPT and stuff.
What?
No,
I use it every day.
I'm so much more old school
every day
than most, because I don't know. I don't like it.
I love it.
I need to go with the times and stuff. But I've always preferred to speak to people. That's how we get pubs and acquire them. We don't look on the website. We try and get backdoor deals because they're the best, and I've always tried to speak to people on the ground. That's just my way of thinking. It always has been, but we do need to implement more AI systems, especially when it comes to social media. Everything's scheduled, everything's done at a certain thing, but
I use it for even if I am putting a business deal together, I'll get it to check it, and it'll go, tweak this and little things like that. How to word things better, and it does work.
It's bad for me, because even my Nan and Grandad use more than me.
Than you.
Yeah.
You need to get on it, Brad. You need to get on it.
It's quite awful.
Even like I say to the managers, our managers all the time, of just ask for 30 ideas in your pub, what you can do on a midweek day to improve it. And I say stuff like that all the time to him, and he'll throw up 30 ideas, and it's like
the artwork it creates is pretty crap. But the ideas, and you can talk to about an idea, it's crazy. You need, honestly, you need to jump on it.
My brother uses it, and I scroll down, and his bar's called the Tipsy Turtle.
Right.
It's a cracking name. So everything's got the turtle on when he does it, and it's just great, and he does really well with it. But we definitely need to jump onto that. It's just, I push some stuff I don't want to do. I push it to the bottom of the pile. And it's always, you've got to go and do the stuff you don't want to do, but it's something we need to look at going forward.
100%. Honestly, it's such an incredible tool. Well, it's not the future; it's now. It is.
It's only going to get better and stronger and more efficient as time goes on. So.
I see it. Obviously, the ChatGPT have launched a new mode called Agent Mode. I'll spend 20 minutes on something to save 50 quid, and what you can do on it. For example, I've just bought a load of washing machines and dryers for some properties what would turn into Airbnbs. So I told it the make and models of the products I wanted, and I said, search all of the UK websites for a better price and find me a discount code. And it saved me 300 quid. It took about 20 minutes doing this agent mode. It literally just searches all the UK. It does basically what you normally do is, instead of Googling, is going through every website. It just does it all for you. And it's like, how many things can you use that agent mode for? It's like you could probably use it for pubs. Find me a pub what's for sale for 250,000 in this area. What's now not on the market, and then you could research and go, I wonder what's happened to that pub. Is the landlord got fed up of trying to sell it, and then you might get a good off-market deal? But obviously, it's such an incredible tool.
Well, that's my new acquisition strategy then.
I'm gonna try it, using it against the marketplace and see what it spits out, because it would be interesting.
At the end of the day, it's more it's not more intelligent, but it can store more information than our brains can. So it's always good to check anything in regards to what you do or anything. So, like I say, whether it's writing a legal letter or whether it's with your staff or even HR, you're checking actually what you're doing. Maybe someone's stealing, or maybe someone's not performing. You want to get rid of them, and it's a good way of maybe just finding out that information on the legal routes of doing something like that. It's important, isn't it?
100%. So you've mentioned, obviously, you've downsized and you've regrouped as this core structure now.
Yeah.
So what is working within your business? What have you seen like work in the business over the last, let's say, 12 months? This year's nearly over now, where you think actually doing that has really drove us forward? Is there anything what stood out?
Yeah, I mean, it's all been trial and error. So like, I actually started a takeaway. So I'm from a food background. So in COVID, I had a martial arts business, and it failed because of COVID. So I was teaching kids online, and it just didn't work. So everything since then, when we started our first business, has just been trial and error, and it's obviously accumulation of them years now where.
So what got you into pubs? Sorry, so what got you into pubs then?
Yeah, so I mean, when I was younger, I was in Team GB doing karate.
Right.
That's what.
Where's the link?
So I don't even know. To be honest, it's random, innit? So I had this unit in Ints, right? I was spending about £500 a month for, and then we would. I was teaching kids. We had a school, but in COVID, overnight the business went flop, and I had that lease to still service. So me and my brother maxed our Vanquish and our Aqua cards out. You know, the really sketchy ones?
Yeah.
Right, because we were only 18 at the time. And went to Marketplace, bought a shed ton of fryers and stuff, and started a dark kitchen.
Right.
And that is what started everything, really. So that did really well, because everyone wanted a takeaway during COVID. You know, it was the easiest business to run. But as we were coming out, we were looking at sites, and this is where Anderton's came from. So Anderton's is actually named after my nan and granddad,
right?
Because they've got massive import. He works in our business. We're a bit more retired now, but they've always been quite helpful and hands-on, and it keeps them going, and that's why we built it, really. So when we come out, we were looking at a lease, and because no one wanted a lease on a bar like that just out of COVID, we got it from 30 grand to zero.
Anderson.
Yeah.
Wow.
We paid zero for it. And that's kind of how it started. So originally it was a restaurant, and then that wasn't working at the start. 3 months in, we're very like Latics fans. We're Wigan through and through. So we sponsored them and got the sports working really well. Yeah. And that's what started the kind of pub start, and then it just kind of developed from there. So it's really random.
Yeah.
Do you do food in there?
No, I'm now food
so
for me.
Fully food.
From fully like immersed into food to straight out of it, and it's mainly because of just the times we're in. Yeah. My model's changed to try and keep the break even as nice and low, because I always notice with food, chefs are like the hardest thing to come by. Yeah. You know, it's a topic in itself. And then you've got to deal with extra utilities. You've got to deal with the general equipment as well, and things like that. Reviews are a nightmare to kind of deal with. Where wet leads are quite easy. Once you've got your core regulars, especially in pubs, you've got quite a good baseline to start with. So that's implemented into our model. But also, where we've downsized, all of our pubs are profitable, number one now, and which is amazing, because it all drops to the bottom line. It just keeps us steady for January. But like the one that I mentioned before to you about Barney's, it's 2 bars in the same operating costs. So the Lecky's already been, so upstairs bar, everything's paid for before you even start touching it. And because it's small, I think the model for us is the smaller little bars that you can squeeze a bit more out of, rather than have a big super club that you've got to put 500 people in and hit there is probably the model.
I think it's always nice if you've got a site where you can get 30, 40 people in, and you've got an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Where these massive sites, people just look lost.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to build that vibe, especially on a Saturday where you want people to come in.
Probably massive key word there, atmosphere. I mean, if you've got a site that you're not filling, you can't get the momentum at all, and the atmosphere just dies. But I mean, my brother's bar's rammed every day because it's small. It's absolutely small. Well, there's only 20 in all the time, but it's full because of
people
the size.
People don't they, in general. People, whether we always used to say about queues, especially the days gone by. It's less so now in town centres, but when you used to get a big queue, people join the back of the queue.
Yeah.
Like we used to purposely hold a queue. Stop the door. Because you want your queue to be bigger than the other venue's queue. It's like, this must be the place to be. Look at the length of the queue.
I mean, we've just come back from Newcastle with Bob Road and...
Who's Bob Road?
My favourite...
Your favourite company?
I'm practically employed by Bob Road. I'm like there,
From the outside in, we thought you were a BDM.
I might as well be.
Yeah. Did you have a good time?
Yeah. To be fair to them, out of a lot of companies take care of us and you guys, but them guys do take care of me, and they've always helped me network. And that's one thing I probably lacked at the start, is to network with as many people, because that's where the opportunities come from.
100%.
But I've definitely, the model for us has been smaller venues that, and a lot of it's down to the people. I mean, if you don't have the right people in that pub, you're just not going to get anywhere. And I've tried to change our model as well, so we're not got just managers, the more of implementers, because I realise, like, I've had the best manager in the world, but if you can't implement things, they can't be creative, it just, you're not getting anything out of the business. So our managers now, I mean, again, this has probably come from just time being in the game, but I'll sit down with them and we'll plan better and go, right, what monthly events can we put in to just boost the revenue and try, but really give them the kind of freedom to do everything, and they're coming up with so much better stuff now that we can implement, and that's been massive for us going forward.
That's good.
Just going back to the holding the queue thing, I actually something quite interesting recently, because I go to Beijing in January. I watched quite a few videos regarding it, and what they do in China in Beijing is they'll let Westerners in for free in a lot of clubs, and free drinks all night for Westerners.
This is why you're going?
No, not just the reason, but because the Chinese look at Westerners within their bar, and if they see a bar or a club full of Western people, they want to go because they feel like it's the in place.
What?
And that's how mental. But it just shows, doesn't it, that wherever you go in the world, everyone's looking for that little bit of a niche where, and like saying, holding the queue, and it's like people want to go where people think is cool, if that makes sense. And even though it's just a facade and it's a lot of rubbish, it's people are attracted to them sort of things.
I've seen so many places that are done up extremely well, and a place I'd go in, but because they're dead, they don't have that momentum, and it's just mad. But
what do you want to talk about now?
I don't know. So where do you see your plans going forward now in the next sort of year, 2 years, 3 years?
I don't even look that far at the minute.
I mean, most operators that we've all spoke to, who knows? I mean, normally you'd have quite a good plan. I mean, long term, we want to secure more freeholds. And
what, have you got any freeholds at the minute?
We do, yeah. Right. We've just secured one. It's getting harder though to finance them. The issue is, because it is hospitality, that they won't bother as much against it. You need high deposit. It's really hard to get into.
Who did you manage to do that with?
I've got a broker in Warrington that one of my landlords suggested me in.
Right. What's the landlord wanted you to buy the freehold?
Yeah. And they suggested me. In fairness, if you just speak to people, everyone's got the contacts, and you just need the time, I think, too. But the issue with property, I've always struggled because of my age as well, to just get in on that first one. And we're very lucky that we had a residential property that got us going and got us onto the kind of ladder. But it's getting harder. I mean, going into next year, I'd still be taking leases on. They're just got to be the right ones, and they're not massive liabilities like Stonegate ones.
We generally only buy property at the bottom value book price anyway, because it's very difficult to go in unless you're heavily cash rich to go.
Yeah.
We're going to take on a venue what's trading at 20 grand a week wet and paying £1 million for it. As in the money to buy them properties, you pretty much have to have 75% of it because they value it on a closed and boarded basis, realistically.
And with that cash that you're putting in the property, how many leaseholds that have got really good net profits could you then buy?
Yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, the interest is that volatile. We can't think that way anymore.
Yeah.
No.
And the market's everywhere. But I mean, it's just how it is.
I think after Christmas, there's going to start seeing a lot of closures.
Yeah.
Obviously, all over Facebook, people are announcing, "I'm doing Christmas. I'm going," because they can't afford the rates. What are going to obviously come in April. So as horrible as it sounds, there is going to be some real opportunities. If you want to take them risks and take that liability on.
I think the biggest frustrating part of it, generally, what happens is people do one or two things when they're disposing of properties, when they're struggling, is they'll either list them for ridiculous amounts of money online.
Well, there's a few up now with for stupid money.
Or they'll strip them and do a runner. And rather than going marketing them at, say, 40 grand, 30 grand, where operators like leases. Leases, where operators who've maybe got that sort of money in, will snap their hands off because you think, we'll change this. They'll leave a property in a state what's a big job to sort out, and that's the most frustrating part of the whole market in general. That
it's like I signed an NDA yesterday for a site in Lancashire, this busy venue. That was one of the subtitle where. Busy venue Lancashire. Thought, I'll tell you what, let's have a look. Sign the NDA. They want 400 grand. I was like, all right, fair enough. 400 grand freehold, leasehold, 60 grand rent. I was like, all right, what are the rates? Looked on the VOA, rates are going up to 100 odd grand. Who's going to give you 400 grand?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You buy a freehold for that.
For one, where are you going to borrow money to buy a lease?
Against the hospitality business.
There's no asset there. Yeah, there's some value as such, but it's only value with trading. You shut that business, it's not worth anything. It's just some chairs and a bit of furniture and sound system and lighting and a kitchen.
The soft assets are worth nothing.
Nothing.
As well,
as soon as you put a sound system in a pub, it's not worth anything.
Yeah.
Furniture, like that was 1,200 quid.
Yeah.
You're not going to get 200 quid for it. You know what I mean? It's just used pub stuff is just not worth anything.
And I think that's going back to the frustration and part of it of like there's too many operators who strip and run rather than thinking I could earn some money out of this by selling a trading business.
But it's difficult because obviously you've still got the liability and you can't afford the rent. The only option is to strip and run.
Yeah.
But obviously that's going to happen a lot in the next few months because people are going to stick around to pay these liabilities.
I mean, it's not entirely their fault. It's just the way the market is.
It is.
At the same time, I mean, it's great. It's great for us. There's a lot more opportunities, but at the same time, honestly, it's like a minefield, isn't it?
But do you want them? This is the thing.
You might come
it's
on
like where normally, obviously, we look at business rates on every deal. We think, it's all right, but then now it's just going to be, is it worth the headache?
Probably no.
Yeah.
In the past, like we just jump at them because we know we can. We've got the knack to do it. But now it's like the amount that have come across our table, and some of them are even like decent businesses, but they're just not enough because of the extra pressures.
I think thinking back over this year, we probably turned the best part of 30 sites down.
Yeah.
Where one, we thought, I don't need the headache. Two, can we be bothered? And three, it's just like, what is the point? Because we're just going to be a busy idiot again.
Yeah.
And it's like, unless we can get a shit hot deal, then what is the point anymore? Because we don't need to do it. It's not going to change our lives at one more site, is it? You know what I mean? All it's going to do is give more volume to your base supplier. They're going to be a lot happier, but we're not going to be any happier.
No, you just get busier. That's all. It's just a busy.
Another thing to micromanage.
And as well, just before you take anything on, just nowadays we'll spend a lot of time more so in towns now.
Yeah, I started doing that. Yeah.
You look at some of the towns now and you think 5 years ago to now, you're looking at
retail's gone
70% down in some of the towns where you look at, and 5, 6, 7 years ago to now, It's just crazy on the actual the volume drop within the town centre. Some of these town centres is mental. So
the stuff that's up's dangerous. It's the way they're marketing it. I just think to say it's doing X when it wasn't, and it was from an account 5 years ago. You know, the best year and the best week.
It's just bollocks.
And they're trying to get 400k. We've seen businesses in Wigan for hundreds of thousands of pounds, and it's doing £5,000 a week.
But I look at it and I go, it's for example like the Christmas markets in Manchester are the biggest con what's ever happened to humanity in this country, because you literally stood outside in the freezing cold, a shed with some holly on top of it, eating a £16 hot dog, drinking a £14 pint or glass of prosecco,
and there's a slug and lettuce across the road,
and you literally stood there for a picture, and then you go home. And people do it every year because they can check in and tag and go, I'm at the Manchester Christmas markets. Are they actually really happy about being there, or is it just for that one moment? And that's the whole industry in nightlife has become problematic for the industry as in such like pubs, bars, clubs, because people now are going for that picture where when you're offering consistency, people don't like that as much anymore.
Yeah, it's boring.
In the life, it's boring as such. So it's one thing I think we've got to probably change in a way to give more experiences to.
100%.
I think you see it a lot more obviously in cities with the pretentious venues, because you'll see a venue open with £500,000 spent on it. It's absolutely stunning inside, but unless they're doing something on socials where they're going to explode, they'll just shut.
Yeah.
And you just see it all the time. Walking through Manchester, for example. Oh, it's gone. That bar's gone. That got. Oh, it's something else now.
It's 6 months gone as well. We noticed that in the cities.
Well, it's like baked potatoes and all the other things that are going on.
Yeah.
Unless
it's just exploded, hasn't it?
It's just.
Oh, it's mad. Yeah, we've got one.
It's kind of one of them scenarios now that just people are looking at these things and they just. I don't get what they see.
I don't.
You know, I just don't understand what people see.
I queued up for a spud at a spud van, not saying which one, and I sat in my car. I queued about 15 minutes. It weren't that busy. It was just a soggy mess. It was like, to me, a jacket potato needs to be crisper, and it was just a soggy crap mess. And I actually chucked it in the bin. I was like, I'm not even eating this.
Do you not take some of them things going into your pubs and some of the way they've marketed, feeling like your TikToks and stuff, and how?
I think one thing we've spoke about next year is to create more sparks.
Yeah.
About like obviously we've done the 20.
We've done an advent calendar this year for the pubs.
I've seen it.
So every day there's a different offer. And just trying to get that momentum.
Yeah, some sparks.
And then one thing what we were speaking about the other day is Wetherspoons used to have, I don't know if they still do it, but every day was something like curry Monday, fish and chips, whatever on a Friday, steak Tuesday. And just like, why do we not drive something into the pubs where everyone knows Monday is this, Tuesday is this. I know people are doing it at the minute with like free pool and stuff, but really even take it a bit further and go, Wine Wednesday, because all that stuff to me just seems to have disappeared over the last decade. Like Wine Wednesday used to be a thing where it doesn't exist anymore. It's just trying to bring it back.
Even going down to back to basics of years ago, of getting maybe a wheel on with 20, and whoever's opening the pub before they open, they go on Facebook Live and go, "What's the offer today?" And you're not trying to drive that momentum in times of difference as such. I don't know, but I think now creating
that spark is hard.
You've got to keep them entertained a bit now. I think like, in my head I've just thought, right, we're practically might as well be some sort of like leisure and entertainment business in a way, and focus on more events. That kind of just keeps that.
Well, I go down to again, like obviously at Christmas, but the Manchester Lapland thing or whatever it is now, it's like I seen it online about 900 odd quid or something for a family to go.
You go on holiday.
It's absolutely mental.
But the social media sells it.
Yeah.
So to be fair, I'll end up going next year or year after. Yeah. So I'll hate paying the money because I'm a tight bugger.
You could have gone to Lapland for money.
At least you have to go on an aeroplane. But yeah, it's just crazy, absolutely crazy. So what I want to talk to you about is you had this dark kitchen. Why have you not got any dark kitchens in the pubs? because this is something what we're talking about at the minute is, do we launch a dark kitchen in one of the sites and have 4 or 5 takeaways, spitting out food, not even really serving food to the pub, just using it as a dark kitchen.
I had a dark kitchen with multi-branding.
That's exactly what we want to do.
And this is at the start when they weren't really like known as dark kitchens, because this has only come through COVID. But we had 4 brands in there, and that's where we got.
Were they your brands, or did you do the franchise
No,
thing?
they were all our brands.
Right.
It was great.
Go on. So what were the brands?
So we had Anderson's.
Right.
We had one called Taco Tacos, which is like
tacos.
Yeah.
I got it.
It was great because we were using obviously the same staff, and we had our own courier network ourselves.
Yeah.
With the platforms, obviously they charge you a fortune for their own drivers. So we had we had so many little micro things going on. We had our own team that were. But it was the economies of scale of right. If we got 5 deliveries already in a certain location, the other brands got a couple to piggyback.
So go on, Anderson's Taco.
We had one called the Chicken Shack, which
fried chicken.
Yeah.
And go on.
And then I was doing another one at the time. I can't remember.
Burgers, pizzas.
So originally it was Anderson's was just a dessert place, and then we went into burgers and stuff like that.
Right.
Don't ask me how we got into it. It was just one of them. It's
so were you on the the platforms, or were you just doing it off your own social?
Everything. So we started with Food Hub.
Yeah.
Right. And then the second we went to Just Eat and Uber, boom, it just went through the roof. And in fairness to them, they do provide a massive market.
Yeah.
The only issue is it comes at a cost. We had quite a good deal, and even then, you're talking like 30% of your, nearly a third of your sales
without delivery.
That's with the delivery. I think it's like, is it 12 off the top of my head without?
Right.
But then obviously you've got now a team of 5 probably staff in the kitchen, 5 drivers or whatever, and you're not doing the volumes to equate that well with a wet led model. I don't need as many staff. There's less cogs, and the more cogs, the more opportunity for problems.
I think it's you say it right, as in like obviously they know the market, Uber and Just Eat, and more so Uber, because like wherever you go in the world or wherever you go in the UK, people use Uber. You've already got the app on your phone.
The convenience is amazing.
If you want food, it's probably the first app you check, or Just Eat.
Especially when you're abroad, I just check Uber Eats.
Yeah.
That's what we did when we were in Valencia, and unfortunately,
Guy needed to pedal a bit quicker.
he come on his bike, and we ordered 5 guys, and it was stone cold. But obviously,
that's the massive issue we have with the takeaways. When you're pushing quite a lot of volume out, and you're like nearly max capacity, you do then start having the run-offs of like, right, my delivery's like late, and then they start slating you in the local review chats and stuff, and then that is like a nice headache to go out. Well, with wet leads, it's not too bad.
Going through that, would you start it again?
No,
at all.
No. I'm happy being in
just
wet lead. I think there's just too many cogs, especially now with utilities, the energy crisis. That just kills everything off for me. That said, in some places food has to work. You know, some places if you don't have food on, if there's a big food site, for example, that's your driver, your loss leader as such to get them wet sales going. So, but no, I don't think I've got the knack for it. It's a really tough job. Luckily at the time I employed my auntie. Right. She that's what she does. She's food, so she kind of got me into the HACCP and COSH and everything and stuff like that. But it's mad because like normally they build up into food, whereas going the other way around and then trying to drop back into wet. But it's just
I suppose at the time as well, with people getting paid for not working. So obviously we found furlough and stuff, and it was a great time to start businesses like that.
It were.
Sometimes it's timing, I'm afraid. You know, it's just timing.
Yeah.
I mean,
obviously you can get paid whilst doing something, working on something else, and not have to worry about things as much at the time either.
So you're 100% wet completely.
Yeah, and I don't intend to go food.
Well, hopefully we'll come to you. We'll come to you next year and go, our dark kitchen's
I've got
working.
10 food sites. I've got food.
We've tried it in the pubs before and it's not worked, but
it's tough.
It is hard, but we need to have another go at it, especially this dark kitchen game. I think there's such a market for it in the smaller towns. Because a lot of the places we are, some of the takeaways are appalling.
We used to do it at the start when we started with the pubs as our loss leader. So we'd break even on the dark kitchen, right, to pay for the staff, the lecky, everything, and then it's like having free food then for the pub. But it just didn't get the legs. But again, I think it's all down to consistency, you know, in this game.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think if you're consistent, I'm sure the model will crack.
So, wet lead, what's your biggest sellers at the minute? It's like, what's your trend? Is there a trend? What's selling well for you at the minute?
A lot of premium stuff sell, but again, it depends on the site. I mean, it's a mix. I mean, with the site that I was speaking about before, Barney's, because King Street, which is where we're based in Wigan, the nitrile strip's dying. That's now getting extremely busy, so we're quite spirit led, which is amazing for our GPs. So I think now, as a group, I think we're probably 60% spirits now.
Wow,
which is absolutely fantastic.
So
for us.
is there a spirit in particular? What's flying out off the shelves?
Vodka.
Just vodka, yeah. We've noticed over the last few weeks the sales of vodka is going back up. I don't know if that's because we're getting closer to Christmas, where it's probably all year it's been quite an even spread of rums, gins, vodkas. Where now I've seen vodka starting to fly again.
How have you found your bitter sales and stuff?
Bitter, I don't think it's going to be here in 10 years for us. Maybe 5.
It's mad because you have to have it on for them 5 regulars.
It's like John Smith's one of our sites used to do 5 and 7 22s a week. Yeah. It used to do some real volume of John Smith's. I think it does between 2 and 3 now. And I, as horrible as it sounds, I think that age group is dying out. And some of them have shifted to Guinness, to a stout. Yeah. But also, I just think a bitter, it's just not a very popular drink anymore.
We've trialed speckled hen in our venues, right? Pale ale, and that's done so much more better because it kind of bridges the gap for us. Yeah. And that's something that they're in 30s and stuff, but it is definitely dying. I think a lot of people are looking for more premium things. They want better and better and better.
Yeah, we've noticed a shift of premium drinkers, especially on lagers. It's just from obviously your cooking lager to then going to your Madris and your Morettis and Cruz Campo. Do you sell Cruz Campo?
No. We took it off and we're fairly BBG predominant because we get the rebate money from them. And I think San Miguel is we've got good buy-in on it. And Stella.
Yeah, Stella.
Yeah.
But I think I do think there may be a trend in the next 5 years to go the other way again.
What, cooking lagers?
Cooking lagers.
Yeah, so, but as in maybe branded better than maybe a Foster's, but with a weaker GP because
ABV.
We're in it.
Get missed out on ABV. Yeah.
So. A weaker ABV just because of, I think there is a pointer towards better health in the next 5 to 10 years.
I don't really drink, you know, and
I can't drink beer. I just can't drink it. I can have probably 1 pint, and that's about it. But I just cider's my draft product. But I'm just not a fan of beer at all. We used to pour BBG everywhere. We still do, but mainly Stella and San Miguel. But we used to pour Bud Light everywhere. Bud Light I could drink for fun. Really nice beer.
I do think I think the investment in the market is going to be lower ABV, but better branding, better maybe quality products, and maybe a slightly better taste of the product. I don't know, but I just think that's where the market is definitely going to, either no or low. A lot of these are jumping on the bandwagon, like your Fosters now, of every opportunity will lower the ABV, will lower the ABV.
And then they don't push the prices onto the operators. I mean, we have Bud Light in our venues.
Yeah,
we do.
I love it.
And we fly it. And luckily we do have a good price, and it allows us to keep the margins. And then the regulars that are price sensitive, we've got a product for them. And that's worked really well. But the ABV is just obviously...
It's like, for me personally now, I will go out and drink Foster's, where I used to drink Cruz Campo, just because I can deal with it hangover better in the morning off Foster's than I can do.
I just think the branding needs to change, like Foster's. You're not going to see me drinking Foster's.
No.
I think they are actually starting to reinvest in Foster's, because obviously it's in they've spent it for the darts, so surely they're going to spend some money on a rebrand as such, because obviously, like, to me, obviously we've got Inches and Strongbow. Inches is outselling Strongbow
Yeah,
now.
we've now got Inches.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong though. Cruise Camp, I would prefer to drink it every day of the week than Foster's, but it's the next day. It just obviously the older you get as well, you can't bounce back nowhere near as quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely is. I do think that there will be a point where the low or little alcohol
down south, every bar you go to, there is an alcohol-free on draft.
Yeah.
Where we don't in the north.
No.
We're 10 years behind all the time.
But we want to drink.
Yeah.
You know, we're drinkers.
Have you seen what they're doing at the moment with Guinness? Though, is they put Guinness Zero, and there's people now who are having half and half of the Guinness Zero, just to lower the ABV of it. Which I think this is what I'm saying. I think this is a trend where things are going now of reducing the ABV, and I think the difficulty with the brewers having is keeping the quality, because some of the zero alcohol is bloody awful as well at the same time.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Some of it just does not taste well. Do you sell any lower north?
We do.
Yeah.
But if you don't have it, I think it's sacrilege. I think you've.
What do you sell?
It's like gluten-free Peroni. That's even though it's not zero. That's one that's popped up over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Like
We've
gluten-free stuff.
We've never even asked for a gluten-free.
Is that
there is people now who one of our friends. He just drinks gluten-free now because of the bloating aspect reduces.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Peroni fan in general, but
Peroni alcohol-free that's nice.
Yeah, that's
the gluten-free I've noticed is getting asked about, or a lot of people have gone onto that because when you're getting older, you can't deal with the bloat inside of the beer as well. So it does massively apparently help, with the bloat inside.
So what other products do you stock?
We've got Old Moot 0%. Have you tried the Old Moot?
Yeah.
What do you think about them?
I don't.
It's like having pop.
We used to sell Old Mute, and for years and years we've sold Old Mute, and then eventually we've put Copperberg back in.
Yeah.
And sales quadrupled.
Yeah.
Obviously we sell Copperberg alcohol-free. Corona Zero, Zero. That is an incredible alcohol-free beer. But us swapping from Old Mute to Copperberg, the sales just skyrocketed.
I think it helped as well that they got bought out, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because they're on their own for a while, and obviously it's helped with the volumes towards the AB InBev products that we buy as well. So now, which was one of the big reasons.
Portfolio, BBG and stuff.
They've got some good brands.
Yeah.
Really good brands. Like obviously Stella.
Stella's cracking for them. And the price is actually reasonable.
Yeah.
They're competitive and which is great for us. And I think they've got. The only issue I think is Bud Light's not as strong as your Foster's. And stuff, and that's where.
I think tasting wise, it's a bit. But I think now with the reducing cores to a lower ABV,
3.4 intake.
I think the Bud Light is going to start to creep against that a little bit more now.
Yeah,
because you can't reduce the alcohol content that much without affecting taste. I don't think at the same time.
No, I don't think it's possible. No. You can't keep lowering it. Obviously, duty's going to go up again next year. What products are they going to start lowering again?
Yeah,
it's just eventually it's going to be a completely different product.
Yeah.
I mean, we've looked at price driving products like that, like with Bud Light, but then we've gone, our average transactional value has just plummeted then, and then it gets even harder for us to get to our turnover, so we've tried to premiumise everything, and we'd rather someone spend more money there, get San Miguel and stuff like that. But
do you sell house spirits or you just premium?
All premium.
Yeah, we
just quality over quantity, really. We tried it, and just it's so hard.
We don't sell any shit. To be like, obviously, like some managers will come to go, oh, it's £3.50 for an ounce double in whatever pub. I'm like, but what are you drinking? It's like it's like paint stripper, and it's just like
there's a market there for it. I mean, but
it's like I'll tell you what, let's call it a £5 and you can have Smirnoff. Like, is the customer going to pay that little bit more to drink quality? And hopefully they will. There will be some consumers who won't. But you think most people will pay? I'll tell you what, pay a quid extra and I'll get a premium product instead of, I can't even think of a crap vodka, to be fair. We just don't do it. Just don't see the point.
Yeah, we tried the price driving routes and it just doesn't work. We'd rather premiumise, make the site look really good and inviting, the atmosphere there, charge premium and have a better margin for us.
And one thing I'm going to tell everybody is that one thing what drives me and him insane: cheap pop.
Oh.
Do not do cheap
Go on,
pop.
what post mix do you do?
We have Coke.
Thank you. Right, so
Coke or Pepsi is fine.
Coke or Pepsi.
What's the ones the nightclubs use?
Partridges.
Partridges. It's disgusting.
We used to use Empire at one point.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Oh.
Honestly,
it ruins your drink.
It baffles me. You're gonna charge good product. You're gonna charge good money for your spirits. Then why? It just like for what's it cost for a splash of Pepsi Max? Like 16p. Like Empire Archers, it might be 8p, 9p. It's just like there's pennies in it.
But I'm sure 99% of the market will pay that.
How many times when we're on a pub crawl in a different town, where we'll order a drink, when we're on spirits, we'll have a cheeky spicy rum. I'll taste it. Well, that is disgusting, and it'll just stop everyone buying a drink, and we'll just leave. Or we won't stay in there and have a couple. We'll just literally leave, and then the next pub what's got proper post mix, we'll stay and have a couple. It's just I just don't see the point in shit. I think as an industry we should be past the point of selling shit, and to me that post mix just don't exist anymore.
Well, the thing is, the post mix is pretty much 85% of the drink as
it
well.
Is.
So if you're drinking that, it's not like you've got cheap lime cordial, for example, which is still not great, but you're not putting cheap lime cordial in a pint of lager where still the majority of the taste is coming from the pint.
We now serve glass Coke as well.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be more experiential and just like, here's a can of Coke, there you go, kind of stuff like that. And try and just do everything we can. I mean, the barriers that we've got as it is are hard enough. So kind of tell a customer, here's your dodgy Coke.
It just ruins the drink.
It's just not.
Absolutely.
Not there.
Is there anything else you want to say before we end this? Because we've been talking now for an hour.
An hour?
We
could do another one.
We could do another hour.
Started.
Oh my god. But yeah, so have you got any top tips for anyone trading over Christmas this year? 3 top tips. Don't sell shit pop.
Don't sell shit pop.
There we go.
Try and be consistent with what you're doing over Christmas. Make sure everything...
Consistency should be every week of the year.
Yeah.
It's so key, consistency.
It's hard to give tips in this industry. I think the main one's just don't be a busy fool. I mean, January's coming. Take all the cash you've got and stick it in a little pot and prepare for Jan.
Hopefully a big pot.
And the 3 questions I'll give you is, out of what you've learned in the years of trading, what are the 3 things that you've done wrong, what you'd tell everybody else not to do? If that makes sense.
Don't say dark kitchen.
So the 3 things that you've done before, you thought, why have I done this? Made a mistake, and now I'm going to pass on to somebody else, as in not to do.
There's a lot in this industry where, because the barriers to entry with like Thai pubs are so low. The one thing when you're young and let's say you've got 5 or 10 grand to start off,
you can get a Thai pub.
You can get a Thai pub. But that 5 or 10 grand goes the other way. And if you're looking at pubs now, and they're up for 2-3 grand, there's a reason they're up for 2-3 grand. Take your time. Even go and run at a percentage.
That's exactly what we say. Instead of wasting that 5-10 grand what you've grafted for to save up, take a percentage model. Pay a 2, 3, 4, 5 grand bond and take a turnover tenancy.
Because if you've only got that money, you need to be preparing yourself
to lose it all.
You are working, that person who's working behind that bar. So you might as well get into your head that you are going to be working your arse off at the start when you're building a business, behind the bar, doing all the hours, hating life sometimes because the customers are shouting at you.
But at least with a turnover tenancy, the mistakes you make aren't going to cost you as such financially because you're going to have an entertainment budget. Your Sky is going to be paid for. So if you want to spend your entire entertainment budget on a drag act that week and it flops or it's a success, then at least the pub call's giving you that gamble. And all you've got is the risk of getting kicked out because you keep making these flops.
But I always go, so many people in this industry, I'd say about 75% of people who enter this industry, whether they're manager or not, or owner, they come in with the wrong intentions of they think it's going to be easy, anyone can run a pub.
That pub's doing 5 grand a week, so it must bring in 5.
Or they just do it for the wrong reasons of pulling, is one of the main ones, or whether it's the state symbol of owning a boat.
I'm a landlord.
And it's like, you know, you're not coming in for the right reason. So I think the turnover tendency is throw yourself in. If you hate it, you're not going to waste any money on it once you've lived and breathed it.
If I started again, I'd be going in. I'd spend probably 1 or 2 years just learning.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I didn't do was I didn't learn at all. So I just got thrown, lose 40 grand. Right. I've learned that mistake now. And
balls deep.
And kind of.
So number 1 was you wouldn't take on a tied house. You'd do turnover tenancy if you started again.
And then if I was, I don't think I'd ever take a tied pub ever again.
So number 2, you'd never take a tied pub again. And what's number 3?
Number 3.
If you want to say it, say food.
I mean, focus on the model before you start.
Yeah.
The model is key now, and in an industry where there's so many turnover taxes, so many extra costs to it, focus on what model will help you be sustainable long term in terms of, right, this is the model, could be a dark kitchen model, you know, with you know, and focus on that. For us next year, it's all about the model. What model can we squeeze out of each side that is unique, that, you know, we can innovate so we don't evaporate and kind of go forward with a really efficient model where the net profits are sat there and you're not doing 25 grand a week and sitting there with nothing in the bank.
Yeah. It's a good place to end.
Yeah. No worries. Thank you very much, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, Brad.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thanking you. Cheers, guys. Thank you.